Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is David, and in this video I'm going to show you how to play the game Bohnanza, the dice game. This is the Dutch version. So in this game we're gonna roll the dice to collect our beans and try to sell them, and players, it's for 2 up to 5 players, try to get to 10 points as soon as possible. So let me show you how it's played. At least in the Dutch version you can use the box as the dice tray and the place to store the dice you've locked, but since it makes noise, we're simply gonna roll on the table. For each player, and it's for 2 up to 5 players, is this card that says how the symbols are distributed among the die. So we have 3 white die and 2 beige. I'll keep it over here. Each player will take the top 2 cards of the deck. Let's say we're playing with 2 players, and you put one on the bottom and one on top. And the one on top will be your active card, and there you have to keep track on the dice you've collected. You'll decide who will be the starting player. That will be the active player, and he will take this bean token person. And then the first player, active player, will roll all the die. The fun of the game is, in most dice games, now the active player gets first pick, and then all other players can do something with the remaining dice. In this case, before the active player will pick a die, all other players gonna check if they can score with the dice that are rolled. So for this player to score his first order, there need to be a brown and either 2 purple, 2 orange, or a mix of them have been rolled. And in this case we have the brown, we have an orange, and we have a purple. So this player can score his first order, and you do so by pushing the bottom card over the first order. And to make it even more clear, you can of course flip the card for a moment and have it over here. And then you can immediately check if you also scored your second order. In this case it needs to be orange and green, but there's no green, so that's it for now. When all players have checked if they can score, then the active player gets to choose dice to store away. So in this case that player needs either 2 orange or 2 purple. There's one of each, but you can also look ahead and see that you need 2 brown ones and a purple and an orange. So I think I would pick the 2 brown and I keep them aside, so you put them in the fields, but for the explanation of this video I'm simply putting them apart. And I will pick either this one or this one, and I'm gonna keep this one just as an example. Now I can roll again. So the active player has to lock in at least 1 die, but you can lock in as many as you want. You don't have to lock in all die of one color. You can simply choose which dice you want to lock. Then you roll again. Again, first all other players are now going to check, can we score anything with these 2 die? You cannot use these dice anymore that are locked, only the ones that have rolled. If not, then the active player has to lock in at least 1 die again. So I'm going to lock in this one. And now I'm safe because I have this order complete, I have this order complete, and now I want an orange one. So maybe with my last die I can still roll an orange symbol. Unfortunately not, but I have my bean person, and once per turn you are allowed to place it flat, and now you can re-roll all dice that are left. You cannot pick dice, you have to re-roll all of them, but that also means all other players will again have the possibility to score your rolled dice. But since it's only 1 die, that player is not gonna have any use for it. And lucky me, I have rolled an orange. I need to stock at least 1 die each turn after each roll. So basically the turn is over. And now the active player is gonna check if he can score some orders. So in this case either 2 orange or 2 purple. I have 2 purple. And the dice can be used all over again during future orders. So for my next order I have to have 2 brown, I have, and either a purple or an orange, I have. So my card goes up to here. Then I have to have brown, orange, purple. Brown, orange, purple. Whee! And now I'm stuck because I need either 3 brown or 4 of these, but we don't have them. So my turn ends. But also, since I've scored 3 orders, Now I have reached a coin, so I can choose to say, okay, my card is done. I'll flip it, and now it's worth 1 coin. But I can also keep it like here, and hope that either the next player will roll 3 brown dice in one roll. Almost. So that player is gonna lock 2 brown and the green one. At any moment, even during other players' turn, if you are at a coin level, you can say, I'm gonna cash in. So this card is done. It's worth 1 coin. I'll put it aside. The second card will be the new active card, and you draw a new card from the draw pile, and that will be your passive card to keep track of the order of your active card. You always have your coins visible to other players, so everybody knows how many coins everyone has. And of course I could have chosen to keep the card for now and hope I would get to the 5th and final order, because then the card would be worth 3 coins. In that case, I would flip the card for 1 coin and then draw 2 cards from the deck as the second and third coin. And then my passive card will be my active card, and I'll draw a new card to keep track. And basically that's the entire game. Play continues until a player scores 10 or more coins. If it's not the active player that scores 10 points or more because you use the dice that the active player rolled, the active player is not allowed to do any more rerolls, simply has to lock in all dice, and then all players will check if they can score any more orders with the dice that are in the middle. So maybe some people will score some coins, and then whoever has the most coins is the winner. If you are the active player to get to 10 coins, you can complete your turn as normal and then check who has the most coins. And there's no tiebreaker, so in case of a tie, players share the victory. And that's it, and that's all for Bohnanza, the dice game. This is the Dutch version, but there's no text anywhere, only in the rulebook. So don't worry about the cover. The active player will roll all 5 dice at the start of his turn or her turn and will get the bean person. After each roll, first all other players get to check if they can score something with the dice that are rolled, only with the dice that are rolled, not with the dice that are already locked in previous turns. Then the active player has to lock in at least 1 or more dice and re-roll all the others. Again, first all other players are gonna check if they maybe can score an order or not. Then again, the active player has to lock in 1 or more dice until all dice are locked. He can do 1 reroll using his bean person. Then you have to reroll all dice that are remaining. And the active player will check what he can score from his orders only at the end of his turn. And once you complete 3 orders, you will score 1 coin, or you can keep completing orders for 2 or 3 coins. And once we get to the 10 coins, the game will end. If you have any questions about Bohnanza, the dice game, please feel free to ask them in the comments below. My name is David, thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.